about 20 kilometers from the border of Lakhimpur district when the police finally stopped us and surrounded all of us, attempted to assault my colleagues and forcibly push them into police jeeps, and also tried to prevent me from walking away from them, and also tried to force me to get into their jeeps. At which point, again, I asked for the law under which they were trying to force me. I also explained to them that unless they showed me an order or a warrant for my arrest or actually arrested me, then what they were doing amounted to assaulting us, kidnapping us, and forcibly trying to put us in their cars and take us to places where we did not want to go. At which point one of the police officers said that, all right then, I place you under arrest under section 151. And they put me in a police jeep with 2 female constables, 2 male constables, and by this time it was about 5 in the morning, but pitch dark. And they drove me to a rest house in a police compound in district Sitapur, where they then kept me under guard. I was not allowed to move out. I was not allowed to meet my lawyers. I was never charged with any crime, nor was I told what section I was being held in. Anyway, we were taken to this rest house and kept there for, I think, around 70 hours, if not a little bit more than that, without ever being charged, without ever being shown any legal basis, without being produced before a magistrate, which under our law has to be done within 24 hours. Thereafter, yesterday at some point in the afternoon, I was communicated to for the first time by the administration and the police, since they had confined me in that premises. And they asked me, they just came and asked me, so what are your plans? So I said, well, am I under arrest or not? So they said, you're under arrest under section 151. I said, then you tell me what your plans are. And so they then asked that, will you be going to see the families? I said, if you release me from here, yes, I will attempt to go and see the families. The families unanimously, all 3 families, are not interested in the compensation they're getting. They're not interested in anything else. They're absolutely clear. They want justice. Eyewitnesses were there who said that they had themselves seen this crime taking place, and I asked them, do you recognize the person who was driving the car? They said that yes, we do recognize the person who was driving the car. One family, the brother of one of the victims, showed me a video in which he clearly pointed out his brother, and he showed me the brother falling as the car mowed down these people. In fact, that was the family of the journalist, and I was told by the head of the police in Lucknow, the IG police in Lucknow, in the morning. She had sort of said to me that, do you really want to go there? Because that man was actually beaten by the protesters. I said, look, I spoke to the father, and that was not the father's view, so I would definitely like to go there, and at any rate, even if that were the case, I would still want to go and meet them. So the case, the government has been saying that that man was beaten up and he died thereafter. However, the family is extremely clear. They showed us pictures of the body. They showed us the tire marks on the pictures, the burns from the tar on the road. And they are absolutely clear. They have seen in the video that they had that the family member has been mowed down by this car, and they're basically saying, unless the minister resigns and unless the culprits are arrested, we will not get justice, and we want justice. The same was the case in the family of an older gentleman whose entire family said exactly the same thing. They also, I think in the video, if you see the video, there is one older gentleman who gets hit straight on the back by the jeep. That they described that was him, and they also said that they're not interested in anything else. They want a fair inquiry. They want justice. They want the minister to resign, and they want the accused to be apprehended. This is the state minister for Home. How can we expect a fair inquiry to be made by anyone who is reporting to him about his own son having allegedly mowed down 6 people? So unless the government takes responsibility of the fact that this horrendous incident has taken place, that this gentleman happens to be the State Minister for Home, unless the government takes moral responsibility and removes him from his post, I do not believe any inquiry can do justice. Frankly, I find it a little strange because we are political parties. We are an opposition party. It is our job, it is our duty towards the people, it is our duty towards democracy to raise our voice on their behalf. When such a horrendous thing has happened, do they expect everybody to just keep quiet? Perhaps because they bully, coerce, threaten, use every agency possible, every institution possible to ensure that people keep quiet. But the Congress party is not keeping quiet, so we're inconvenient. So they keep tagging us with this thing that we are politicizing things. This is a huge political issue. It is a huge political issue. You have a minister in the union cabinet whose son has allegedly mowed down 6 people in public. There are videos showing the incident. There are eyewitnesses. There are journalists who were there. And you are refusing to take action. We have raised every issue, but frankly speaking, I don't see the other oppositions doing it. I don't see the leader of the BSP, Mrs. Mayawati, raising her voice. I don't see her coming out on the streets. I don't see her opposing this government except on Twitter. Same for Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, who I have, frankly, in the last 2 years not seen carrying out any serious demonstration against this government. So I am not entirely convinced that they want to, with all their might, fight for democracy and fight against this government. However, I am open and my party is open to discussions with them and to do anything that can be done to defeat the BJP government in the state. Well, I still have to meet a few families. I haven't met them all. I've also requested to meet the families of those 2 BJP workers who have passed away, and I'm waiting for their response. I was told by the police yesterday that they don't want to see me, but I'm trying to directly contact them to know whether that's true or not. If they're willing to see me, I'd be happy to see them as well. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to continue our protests, and I'm going to continue to put pressure on the government until this man resigns and his son is arrested.